Good morning, everyone. And the other side. The other side. Lee circles. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And ping circles. And reverse. And reverse. and block. And reverse. Okay, you can put away your sticks. Head turns. And center and right ear up. And relax and left ear up. And relax and right ear again. And relax and left ear again. And relax back to center. Head rolls. And down to center and reverse. And down to center and back up. Forward spinal wave.
Spider.
And reverse. All right, follow Annie.
We had two, honey. This one right here and that one right there. And that one went after that one and it ran away.
Really?
Yeah.
do some exercises,
Okay.
honey, just something.
Let's do the qua. And reverse. And that one's right here, honey. And good. Belly rolls.
Spider rescue.
It's Spider Rescue Day. We're doing belly rolls.
Belly rolls. Well, I can certainly do that. And reverse. And good. The windmill. And good. The grindstone. And reverse. And all the way. And reverse. And good. And good. And squats, starting on the left leg.
I think I'm gonna skip squats today.
Okay. And then the right leg. Okay.
How's your hip?
It's fine. And it's still there. I can feel it if I, push it a certain way, but it doesn't hurt. And center. Okay, hands on the knees, up slowly. Keep your head down a moment.
I just didn't eat enough yesterday.
Okay, I want to show you guys a little short video. So this is a 3-minute video. This is by a young lady. I don't know what her background is, but she's doing a series of shorts on different kinds of intelligence. And we're just going to watch one because it's apropos to what we're practicing. But the way she's doing this, I mean, kind of just the studio way she's doing this, I think is really good. And the thing that really impressed me was her storytelling ability. 3 minutes is a really short time. And she's packed a really nice story, and she does every time, but you'll see in this one we're going to watch, she's packed a really nice story into these 3 minutes. So hold on just a second. Okay, can you all see this? James?
Yes.
Okay. Genevieve, are you there?
Yes.
Good. All right, I'm going to play this. Let's make sure there's plenty of sound.
That every human being is born with, that most people spend their entire lives learning to ignore. And the more successful, analytical, and high achieving you are, the more likely you are to have shut it down completely. Your gut contains approximately 100 million neurons, more than your spinal cord. It produces 95% of your body's serotonin. It communicates directly with your brain via the vagus nerve, sending far more signals upward than it receives downward. Scientists now call it the second brain. But here's what interests me more than the anatomy. Every wisdom tradition on earth, long before neuroscience had language for this, located intelligence in the body, not just in the mind. The ancient Greeks spoke about the heart as the seat of understanding. Indigenous cultures across every continent made decisions by consulting what they felt in the body, not just what they thought in the mind. The Chinese concept of Ji, often translated as intention or mind, was understood to move through the body, not to sit above it. And then Descartes drew a line between mind and body, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And the body was demoted from a source of intelligence to a vehicle for the mind. A machine to be optimized, a problem to be managed, a collection of symptoms to be treated, and something profound was lost in that separation, because the body processes information that the conscious mind cannot access. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio spent decades studying patients with damage to the regions of the brain that process bodily sensation. What he found was fascinating. These patients, whose cognitive intelligence was fully intact, became catastrophically bad at making decisions. Not because they couldn't think, but because they couldn't feel. The body, Damasio concluded, is not separated from decision making. It is central to it. What we call gut feeling is a real physiological event, the body integrating patterns, histories, subtle cues faster than the conscious mind can formulate a question. And the ones who override this most consistently, who have learned to live entirely in the mind, are often the ones who feel most disconnected from what they actually want. Not because they aren't intelligent, but because they have been accessing only a half of the intelligence available to them. The body is not an obstacle to clear thinking, it is the other half of the instrument. And learning to listening to it, to actually receive what it's communicating, is one of the most significant expansions of intelligence available to a human being. This was episode 7 of Beyond IQ. Follow for more.
All right, so Annie, again, it's worth saying again.
Well, I've really been meditating a lot on the conflict between mind and body, and realizing that we do not honor the body, the animal self, the way that we should.
Yeah.
And it gets us into a
That's
lot
all.
of trouble. The body ends up resenting our lack of respect for its intelligence. And it becomes some kind of weird conflict that we don't even understand or recognize.
That we don't even recognize. We don't even know where the strange feelings of alienation come from.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know whether you guys have been in for some of our earlier lectures, but in our way of looking at things, in the Taoist way of looking at things, you have 4 bodies, right? Your spiritual body up at the top, your physical body down at the bottom, and then in between your energy body and your mental body. And the real goal of Qigong and Tai Chi is to integrate all 4 of those. And you might go, well, why aren't they not just integrated? Well, they ought to be integrated. When
But
we're
we
born,
live in the matrix,
we
which
live
is
in the matrix.
created to
And in order to turn you into a good little worker and a good little machine, the process of enculturation you go through, and it doesn't matter what culture it is, almost all cultures in the world do the same thing. They separate those bodies. So think about your childhood in school. You spent somewhere between 12 and 16 years sitting in a little chair, listening to other people tell you what is what. That's a lot of practice. If you just think of you're spending 6 to 8 hours a day sitting in a chair, you're practicing something whether you know it or not. And that practice, that particular practice, really helps separate your mind from your physical body, for instance. So what we do in Qigong is focus on the interface, not between the spirit and the physical body, but between the mind and the energy body. So you're right in the center of everything, and you focus on that interface. And just gently through months and years of practice, what's happening is you're just reintegrating everything very slowly. And in a certain way, without really even meaning to, just doing the exercise, relaxing and doing the exercise, and it has a good effect on your day-to-day health. That's sort of the short-term benefit of it, but the long-term benefit is it's binding together again the mind and the energy body, and when you do that, it also brings the physical body in, and eventually it brings the spirit body in too. So all four bodies, right, begin to bind together again. And Grandmaster Feng would describe the ultimate goal of what we do as returning to the Hunyan integrity state. That's the state you had when you were born. In your first 6 months or so of life, you were in that state until you started to grow up and get acculturated. And of course, you started to accumulate the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, which also helped differentiate things. But I really liked that little story that she just told. I thought she did an excellent job. 3 minutes is really short. Really short. I just spent more than 3 minutes chattering about what I'm just chattering about. She told a much bigger story in just 3 minutes. So she worked on that script.
She whittled it.
She whittled it down to exactly what she wanted to say. And she probably is working with an editor and someone else to help set up her little studio there and the lighting, and they film it, and she's probably doing the writing and the presenting, and then she has someone else edit it. Usually it's a team effort, but I thought she did a really good job. I would like your impressions too. Genevieve, what do you think?
I loved it. I just wrote an article called "Have You Heard About My Acrimonious Divorce?" And it was referring to the divorce between my mind and body that Annie just described. And since I started studying with you guys in 2021, one of the most important things that happened to me was I realized that divorce had taken place due to a lot of stuff that happened before 2021. And it was actually possible to bring those things back together.
Yeah.
Something you said at some point, Malcolm, was that once the mental body, energy body, and physical body are aligned, then the spirit can come back in. And that, I think, is extremely relevant to me. I think part of why my life has been hard is because my spirit like departed because we weren't offering it much. So it was just like flying away. And the more I integrate the three bodies you described, the
Yeah.
more I can start to be like, oh, there is another part that could come home at some point
Yes.
if I work on it.
Yes, I think that's exactly right, Genevieve. It's like you have to make your life into some kind of vessel that the spirit can come down and come in. And the spirit too often gets alienated or dissociated, and I think it does for almost everybody. But it's nice to rediscover that you can rebuild that vessel and invite the spirit back in a much more kind of living way. I don't think that process of dissociation and reintegration is bad. I think it's actually good. I think it's one of the major reasons that we're here on this plane of existence is to lose it and then regain it, because you learn something when that process happens. You learn how much it hurts to lose your spirit and how good it feels to regain it. There's lots of ways to do that. Have you ever read Golf in the Kingdom? Right? It's a great book about regaining your spirit through golf. And literally anything that you do. Aunt Lucy used to do quilting and would do these wonderful big quilts. That's another way of regaining your spirit. So it's not just Qigong or Tai Chi. But Qigong or Tai Chi are really good ways, and they have a lot of other benefits too,
yes.
just by the side, right? James, any thoughts?
So my thoughts when she was talking was I just wanted to yell, "Preach, sister." And
Yes.
I was also quite pleased to hear what an important role my stomach will play in my progress through reintegration. But you, in line with your comment, the fact that she distilled that down to 3 minutes is proof positive of the disintegration because we've only got 3 minutes of attention to listen to why we're unintegrated.
Yes.
TikTok, right? But accepting that limitation, it was a nice little window into a world that is perhaps less confined to a screen in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's after I watched that last night, I always go down and read the comments because I really like to get people's reactions. And one of the reactions was somebody giving her advice. This was too long and complex, he said. It was too long and complex. It's like it was 3 minutes long, and it's a very, in a way, it's a very simple story. If you plot it out like a movie script, it's just one, two, three. I thought it had really good flow. She's a good storyteller, and that is truly a real art. Jose, any thoughts on your part?
Uh, yeah, kind of related and kind of not. I just learned that it's very likely that Newton was autistic. So well, his different way of thinking definitely changed the way we live.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. This, of course, my own belly happens to be quite abundant. Let's say, I have an abundant belly. Um, this way of being in your, there's another aspect to this that I think is important, and it's invisible for most people. Our culture has a bias against the lower part of the body.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right? This part's fine, right? This part's fine. But from the navel on down, right, particularly between the navel and the knees, oh, it's just like we don't even want to pay any attention to that. We don't want to look at that nasty part. And that's just silly. So, but having that prejudice, it's enculturated in you when you're just a tiny little kid. You don't even think about it, but it's everywhere in our culture. Um, I mean, even things as silly as bathing suits. Why would you wear a bathing suit when you're in the ocean? Just get in the ocean naked, right? No, we have to wear a bathing suit. It's both for sexual modesty, which I understand, etc., etc., etc. But it means this part of there's something wrong or magical or something with this part of the body.
Mysterious.
Well, certainly mysterious, but you think about it. This is the center of your body, right? Half of it's below and half of it's above. And a lot of the work we do, it doesn't uh, focus on the second chakra very much, on the sexual organs, right?
But they're there.
But they're there. It does focus on this area. The qua, the qua is this whole area, the upper thighs, the groin, the sexual area, all the way up to the dantian. So it's like there's no shame in that, and there's no weirdness about it. It's just part of your body, right? So we focus on that, focus on that, focus on that, re-accept that as not only part of your body, but the engine of your body, right? Think about when you walk, when you just walk. What's actually doing the walking is this part of the body right down here, right? Forward and backward. Anyway, I ran across that last night. I thought she did an excellent job, and I wanted your guys' reactions to it, which sounds really positive. We have a couple of new students that are kind of coming into the classes slowly. We'll see whether they stick around, but I wanted to give them at least some initial material about what we're doing, and I thought that might be a good thing to play about that. Not the only thing, but a good place to start. Okay, guys, we are out of time. Let's pick it up again tomorrow. All right. Salute our masters and salute your classmates. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.